What's going on, guys? JJ Wilson is here. This will be JJ Star Wars Corner episode 23. Shout out to RPU, re-uploaded. That's the channel name. I will definitely try to put that video in the description box. It was a rather interesting video, so this is more like a response to what was stated. So the video starts off with the introduction of it's from a book, but it's also a movie called Ready Player One. I think that's the title name, Ready Player One. And this is basically a setup for people living in a post-apocalyptic society. And you got this character, and he's literally living in like a dump yard or something, but he puts on a virtual headset and it takes him into an alternate world where he's like something of a fake persona, right? And like he stated in the videos, like, yeah, we got tons of Netflix shows and just television shows in general, movies as well as animes and games that set players up in an alternate reality through virtual play or virtual video, and they're in an alternate world basically, and they're just pretty much doing whatever they want to do in a fantasy world in a sense. And he was saying a lot of these big time conglomerate companies like a Google, like a Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Instagram, some of these other companies, like they're really going out of their way to try to create these virtual reality type platforms where people can just go in and like they can put on a virtual headset and they can play these games, or they can play or they could just get into like a computer system of some type, and they're in this world and they can just do whatever they want to, right? And it's certainly alarming, and it's probably more cons to this than there are pros. I can only see like maybe a handful of pros as far as making friends from different parts of the world. I mean, there's only so much you can do, because I know not everybody in the world is going to be able to play virtual reality anyway. I mean, they're going to try to commercialize it as best they can, these companies, to where they can make it more affordable for people. But after a while, they are going to try to politicize as well as, regulate what goes on in these particular virtual games or virtual reality type open world settings, right? So they're going to try to regulate as best they can through some kind of monetization process. I know RPU mentioned cryptocurrency a couple of times, so they could use that as a way to regulate who can go in the world and stay and who can get out of the world and stuff. So, but after a while, they're going to make it more affordable for people to just go up in there. But seriously, like, it's kind of nerve-wracking, because like he put out another story about this guy in Asia, like South Korea in particular, that played, it wasn't even a virtual reality game, it was like it was similar to World of Warcraft, and he basically just spent days and days and days on this game, just kind of forgetting about his real world duties and stuff, to the point where he literally exhausted himself to death. He just died of exhaustion, dehydration, wasn't eating, wasn't drinking, wasn't sleeping. He was just playing like day after day after day. It was crazy, and that's the sad part about this. Like, you're just creating vegetables. And the term that they kept using was metaverse. That's what they're trying to call this new alternate world, metaverse. So all I can say is, like, you can go into these worlds if you want, if you're tired of the world you're in, but you need to be aware that that's all a fantasy and it's not the real thing. And as long as people remember that, then we can still keep the world as civilized as we can and as structured as possible. Because if not, then people are going to be like, the alternate world is going to be better than the real world. And that's a scary sight, because I was telling them in the comment section, like, the last thing a person wants to be is a slave in somebody else's playground, especially a virtual reality playground. You don't want to do that. So yeah, it's pretty scary. Like I said, more cons than pros. You certainly don't want to subject yourself in a place that you can't get out of, by plugging yourself in a metaverse, as they're calling it. Not the Matrix, but the metaverse. So yeah, shout out to you, RPU, for the video. I'll link it in the description box so you guys can check it out. It's kind of lengthy, but it's still pretty eye-opening to see. Tell me, you guys, what you think about the metaverse or virtual reality gameplay, or virtual reality open world settings to where you're actually doing business, you're meeting people online through this alternate reality, you know, an alternate life altogether. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. What are the positive and the negatives? I'd like to hear about that. But anyway, that's going to be all, and I will see you all later.